Welcome back to the channel, New Birth Fitness family. This is podcast episode number 5. That's just so crazy to me, and I'll explain why a little bit later in this episode. On this podcast, sometimes it'll be me and my wife, sometimes it'll be just me, sometimes it'll be me and a guest, sometimes it'll be me and my wife and a guest. We want to mix it up and give you guys variety and not just, hey, it has to be this way, it has to be this way, it has to be that way. You know, on this podcast, we're all about empowering moms to transform lives and change the world. So that is literally what it stands for. We want to inspire. We want to create transformation in others. We want to motivate others. We want to bring on other people to highlight what they've done and congratulate them for what they've accomplished so far and what they will accomplish. And maybe somebody that hasn't started yet, and maybe they just need some guidance to get started. This will not be just any other fitness podcast. This will not be just any other fitness workout channel. This is family. This is community. This is growth. This is our future, because just impacting one mom can create the ripple effect that changes tens of thousands to millions of other lives. This really is an appreciation reflection episode. I appreciate my wife and everything she's done to help bring this vision to life, supporting me, supporting everybody else, just being a constant giver. That's just who she is. She motivates me in more ways than she could ever know. Seeing all the different things she's been through, and yet she's still here pushing and fighting and growing and getting better and right by my side, that's priceless. I would do anything for her and my boys. We appreciate every single guest that's come on this podcast with us to be a part of this journey from the very beginning. Our first guest being Nancy. She is 50 years old and still pushing forward to conquer things, when a lot of 50-year-olds will be like, is there even a point of getting started? Should I even do that? There's no point. Why would I even start now? If I was going to do that, I should have did that many years ago. She's not letting all those thoughts and things that other people think and feel get in the way. She's pushing forward and becoming the best version of herself at 50. She has more energy. She has more drive, more ambition. Like, where else can you get that from? We appreciate her vulnerability to even get on the episode, starting with, I don't know if I can do this. What should I even talk about? Look, she has so much to share. She drops so many gems and bombs that can change the game for so many people. She's not letting age define who she is. She's letting what she does right now define who she will be in the future and who she is now. It's crazy to think that if she didn't come up and ask my wife a question about how to do a specific thing in the gym, she wouldn't even have been on the podcast. It's crazy how things happen in life where in the moment you don't realize why it's happening, and then later on you're like, oh, that happened because of this, because of that. Oh, it was getting me ready for this. Oh, I had to go through this to be prepared for what was coming over here. Then just something as simple as her asking a question to my wife about working out, and then us having a conversation and showing her how to do exercise, leads to her being on a podcast, leads to her having more motivation, leads to her changing more lives and impacting the lives of her family. Sometimes it's so easy to sleep on the little actions that turn into huge things later when you do those little actions long enough. So Nancy, I commend you for your strength to ask a question. I commend you for your strength to start something and keep going. I commend you for where you're going, and the fact that you're going to come back on this podcast later on with game-changing results that surpass even what you've accomplished already now. And then our next guest on was Lupita. She had the strength and courage to reach out for help from my wife when she didn't know what to do at the time. She had the courage to say, I don't know what to do. I'm going to find somebody who does, and I'm going to take action and listen to what she's telling me to do. She took it and ran with it. Even on the days that her and my wife weren't in the gym together, she was still in here consistently putting in work over and over and over. And that's why she's gotten the results she's gotten now. She was able to take what the doctor said, hey, this is your health condition right now. She was able to reverse those health effects and say, I'm taking back my life to create the future for me and for my family. That is priceless. Do you know how many years she just added on her life by reaching out and asking a simple question and then taking action and actually applying what was said? It's really funny how a lot of things in life are reversed. The things that we're told and repeating is actually the opposite of how we should actually think and feel. The thing is, time is money. Time is money. You hear people saying it all the time. And time is not money. Time is greater than money. If somebody said to you right now, I'll give you $10 million right now, but you got to die tomorrow, you're not going to want that $10 million. But guess what? If a billionaire was in the hospital on his deathbed right now and he had to give up every dollar he has right now to get more life back, he would do it in the blink of an eye. So it's funny how when people don't have money, they're using up all their time to try to get the money. And then people who have a ton of money are willing to give up all that money to get back more time. Time is the most priceless asset you have. You have to choose how you're going to use it. Do you use time to push you forward, or do you allow the time to hold you back? The choice is yours. So I love so much how she chose to use her time in a way to accelerate her life versus holding her back by starting with a question and taking action on the things she actually learned. Lupita, I can't wait to see the rest of the results you had from here moving forward and so much more on the way. I already know. Can't wait to have you back to share the next part of your testimonial. Then our last guest, y'all saw it. It just blows my mind. Our son, Nathan, a 9-year-old spitting gems and dropping bombs all over the place, like saying and thinking things that a lot of people that are way older than him, 40, 50 sometimes, that are not thinking the way he is, putting words together in the way he is. So I'm so proud of the man he's growing into at such a young age. He's a product of showing how your kids learn from what you're doing and not what you're telling them. You can be telling them all the things in the world, but if you're not taking action, they don't see you doing it, they're not going to follow it. Even some of the simple things he said were so profound. This man really said, in life, you can't fail. You never fail. You just haven't completed it yet. I was like, that's my son. So I'm just enjoying the journey, seeing him want to be on a podcast, seeing him want to be a part of YouTube videos, seeing him have the ambitions to go for the things he's actually looking to do in life. Most kids, if you said, hey, if you want to do the episode, you got to be up like 4:30 in the morning so you can do an episode on a Saturday. Like, nope, I'm not doing that at all. If I wake up, I'm waking up to play video games or play with toys or something. But the last thing I'm going to do is be recording the video. So that just shows his potential and where he's heading. Like, literally, the sky has no limit for him at all. So Nathan, I want to praise you for your courage, your bravery, and even the newfound consistency you're building. I see so many different attributes in you that are growing to a whole nother level, and I'm proud of you. You even dropped in the middle of the episode and gave us like 20 something push-ups. So just keep growing, keep pushing yourself, and you'll be mind blown by how far you'll go in life, things you'll accomplish, and how many millions of lives you'll change all around the world. So we want to thank all the guests that have come on the podcast and all the ones that will come on the podcast. This is a safe space to grow, to be vulnerable, to level up. Like, this is all about transformation for you and for everybody around you. Even when I started this episode saying it's crazy that this is even podcast episode 5, like, this is God. Like, literally none of this would be possible if it wasn't for God. We're in the right place at the right time in the right moment. And it was so crazy to me that I don't even know if I made it to 5 episodes when I first started a YouTube channel about 8 years ago to start giving people fitness advice and so many different mindset jams and things of that nature. But it wasn't the time then. Hey, I had other things that came up at the time when it came to work, a new job, new opportunities, and I let that get in the way of me starting this to build it up. Imagine if I would have kept doing that for 8 years, where that would be right now. How many more lives could have been changed over that time? How big would this podcast be right now? How big would the YouTube videos be right now? Guess what? It's not about that. The time wasn't then, the time is now. Think about it. 8 years ago, I would have had 8 years less experience. I wouldn't have had my wife with me. I wouldn't have had my son with me. And I wouldn't have had all the other mistakes and errors and things I made along the way that now you don't have to go through. Even the things we haven't even accomplished yet, that you get to go through those with us. Things 100% would not have been as good then as they would now. But my point is, don't wait to start. Whatever you're looking to go for, just start. I know there's some people that are saying, wait, they're doing a podcast in the gym. They don't have the traditional, you got the table set up here, the table set up there with the arm and the microphone attached. So what? Yes, is there other places we could have done the podcast? Yes. May the scenery change at some point and maybe we will go with a traditional setup? Yes, maybe, possibly. Who knows? But the purpose of starting it in this way is to show people that things don't have to be perfect. Just do it and then make it perfect. Don't worry about, hey, this is how it has to be. Start with what you have. Start with your camera on your phone. Start with a little cheap mic. This is to show people you have more resources and more tools than you know. You just have to take action. Because one thing I can guarantee, that starting 8 years ago and then stopping after 5 videos or so, that ain't happening now. This is going to be millions of people that are impacted and changed all around the world. Every guest we've had on is family. Every guest we will have on in the future is family. We're all family growing together to go to the next level. This isn't just transformation for you. This is transformation for us and transformation for all the people who haven't even made it here just yet. Start where you are now. Don't make excuses. Start now, be consistent, and watch what life looks like when you reflect back on what you did later on. We didn't want to make this too long. We just wanted to show some appreciation and gratitude for how far we've come and where we're heading. And you guys been a part of this journey with us together. So thank you so much. This is just the beginning. So much more on the way. Podcast episode number 5 completed. Love you guys. Let's level up.